Hey everyone, it's Sevy. I started playing Genshin again. So to be clear, I never said that I would quit the game. If you go back and watch my videos, I never said that. I may have said that I took a break from the game or I wasn't playing the game currently. But when it came to quitting, the only thing I ever said I'd quit were the Genshin guides, not the game itself. And that I am holding true to. Anyway, before my recent return to the game, the last time I played was 6 months ago when I recorded this video. And even then, when I recorded that video, I wasn't even actually playing the game. I was just looking through my account and Brax's account. So the last time I actually really played the game was like back in January of this year. So that's like 7 months ago. And that's a while. And recently I picked it up again and I'm loving it. So I want to talk about it. Now, I never really fell out of love with Genshin, but I got burned out by it, definitely. And this is also not the first time I've talked about getting burned out of Genshin, and it might not even be my last, but in the past when I did talk about it, I was like in the thick of it. I was in the midst of it, like the worst of it. Back then, when I talked about it, I hadn't recovered from it. But it's different now, so, you know, if you'll indulge me, I'll go back to that topic now with a different frame of mind. Being invested in gacha games is so tiring. It's so tiring, and I'm sure that a lot of you can relate to this. I think that if you're conscious enough about like the risks of gacha banners and spending money, then like congrats, you're doing better than a lot of other gacha players. You're smarter, you're more informed about the risks, you know? But even then, even if you can control those spending habits and then resist pulling characters as soon as they come out and all that, there's still so many other forms of FOMO to contend with when you are invested in gacha games. First of all, there's the stuff that goes on outside of the game. There's the news, the marketing, the online community that always talks about story spoilers within like the first hour of the major quest coming out. And as a live service game, Genshin has to find a way to always keep its community active. Whether that's posting content online, posting birthday art, promo videos, banner teasers, drip marketing, and so on. Like, you know the whole drill. You know how active Genshin's social media are, and other Hoyoverse and other gacha game social medias are also. They always have to keep posting content and keep their audiences coming back and talking about the game. Those are all well and good for the life of the game, but, you know, if you're chronically online like I was, then it drummed up a lot of social pressure to always be up to date with what's going on. Honestly, only some of that is just being a content creator. Like, sure, as a content creator, I had to like talk about the things, but even then, I can imagine if I weren't making content on it, then I would have been like, oh my God, I missed this drop. Oh my God, I'm late to the party. I didn't see them tweet this thing. And then like, I'd feel so FOMO about it, you know? And that felt even worse when it came to things like spoilers for Archon quests. I mentioned that earlier, I'm coming back to that now, and other major quests. Like, you'd basically have to be offline when an Archon quest comes out if you want to dodge all of the spoilers. But then being offline also means not being able to participate in the online community in the way that you're used to. It basically means being like cut off for a bit, which honestly doesn't feel great. So then there's the stuff within the game. There's the constant cycle of dailies, weeklies, resource farming, equipment farming, artifact rolling, end game grinding, all the systems that you basically have to grind so that you don't feel like you're falling behind. So that when people ask you if your shiny new character that you just pulled like 7 days ago has reached the top 1% on the Akasha build leaderboard, then you can proudly say yes. I wasn't trying to compete for any Akasha stuff, but since my content was focused on building characters, that grind was basically the upkeep of the account that was required. People have different reasons for committing to the grind. Like, sometimes it's to get the big PP damage number because it's very satisfying to get that with your favorite character, not gonna lie. Sometimes, on the more practical side, it's so that you can continuously clear the end game mode without too much struggle so that you can keep farming up those FOMO gems. Sometimes it's so that you don't embarrass yourself in co-op, or maybe you just want to brag to your friends that this is your character build. Who knows? Like, there's so many reasons to grind it, but essentially, like, that grind or keeping up that grind is also a commitment. It's an investment, and missing out on that means getting some FOMO. And that doesn't even touch on the limited time content, like the events that only last 10 days and you have to do them or else it's gone forever. If you don't finish the quest within that time, you will never get to experience it for yourself. You'll never get to know the ending for yourself. You'll have to like look it up on a wiki page or watch someone else play it through. And if you don't finish all the mini games, then there goes your Freemo gems. All that limited time stuff. It's FOMO right on its own. Genshin and other gacha games, they are basically constantly built to demand your time and attention inside and outside of the game, to keep feeding you things and content to do and like, yeah, continuously limiting the window of time for you to do them. It's a game that gives you deadlines, whether enforced by the game or socially constructed by the nature of its resulting community. And it basically overstimulated me to the point that it was like I felt everything and nothing at the same time. Like for me, that's what the true burnout felt like. The overstimulation, the numbness, the I'm only doing this for routine. I'm not having fun with this anymore. I am just trying to commit to it because I'm in too deep. Therefore, I must continue to do it even if I feel nothing for the game anymore. So I stopped playing. I mean, I stopped playing for several other reasons, but burnout was like major among them. And I didn't open Genshin Impact for like 6 or 7 months. So despite all that, why did I decide to try playing Genshin Impact again? Well, even if I didn't open the game throughout those 6 months, I never fully disconnected from it and from the community. Like, I was still on social media a little bit. I know that I was pretty inactive, but I would lurk from time to time. And then I would see which banners are up, which characters were announced, and I saw that people enjoyed the paralogism and space and time for you quests. Dainsliff, hello. And then sometime in July, the God's Limits animation dropped. And I may have been burnt out from playing the game, like grinding the game, but I was still invested in the main story and the plot, like the powers at play in Teyvat's plot and world. I watched the animation. I watched it while I was traveling abroad actually, and like, I got goosebumps. It was really cool. And then they dropped the Nod Cry sneak peek at the end of the 5.8 live stream, and then I saw that and I was like, ooh, that looks fun. And then they released the Song of the Welkin Moon Nod Cry trailer. And then that one kind of just, chokehold moment. Like it grabbed me by the neck and then decided it wouldn't let go. I just really liked it. I thought it was cool. I was like, you know what? Maybe I will go check out Nod Cry. Maybe I will check out 6.0. Maybe I will check out Genshin Impact again. And, maybe you're one of those people who might criticize players for like leaving the game and then come crawling back when the Nod Cry stuff was announced. But like, that's the point of marketing. Like, that's the point of marketing any product, much less a live service game like Genshin Impact. Like, they drop those things to attract new players and old players back into the game. And like, I'm not ashamed to say that it worked on me, because have you seen the character designs? Have you seen the stuff that they're teasing? They look really cool. And I uploaded my reaction to those promo videos over on my Clips and VODs channel if you want to see it. If you've been around my streams lately over on Twitch, I basically decided that I want to pull the lamp man. However, I do not want to spend on the game anymore as much as possible. So I'm trying to collect as many primos as I can through free-to-play means until he comes out. And aside from that tall drink of a man, I was definitely excited by seeing characters like Nicole, Alice, and Varka, highly anticipated characters who have appeared or been mentioned in previous quests, finally showing the promise of being playable. To me, that was definitely exciting, definitely something to look forward to. But essentially, like, all I'm trying to say is that all of that grabbed my attention. I thought a lot about when exactly I would finally dip into Genshin again and open my account once more. Like, I knew I would eventually. I knew that I hadn't left the game for good. I'd always known that. So for me, it was a matter of time, because despite the frustrating parts of Genshin, like when it comes to optimizations, sometimes dev decisions or character design decisions or endgame content or, all of that frustrating things, I never reached the point of being so jaded about it that I wanted to like uninstall the game and never look at anything Genshin again and then be toxic to players who were still playing the game. Like, I never reached that point because for all intents and purposes, like, I'm the type of person who, when I find a game that I love, I binge it, I stick with it for a long time, and I feel like it's always there for me to come back to. That happened with Pokemon, Minecraft, Stardew Valley, and now Genshin Impact. Simply put, I missed Genshin. And the coming of Nodcry just seemed like great timing and opportunity to start again. But, and here's a big but, I'm choosing to play things very differently now. Let me explain. So you know all the things I was talking about earlier that led to burnout? Like the grinding, the optimization, keeping up to date, not falling behind, keeping up the pace. Yeah, I'm just throwing all of that out the window because fuck that. Ever since opening my Genshin account again 2 weeks ago, I set down rules for myself. Primary of which is don't do anything in the game that I don't want to do. If I don't want to grind artifacts, I'm not gonna do it. If I don't want to do Spiral Abyss, I'm not gonna do it. If I don't feel like spending resin, I'm not going to do it. And if I don't want to pull the current character, even if people keep saying she'll be the best support for a certain lamp man, I'm not gonna do it. Because this is my Genshin account, it's my time, my space, and my game. Basically, all of that FOMO stuff is manufactured. It's artificial, and it does condition you. Yeah, it conditions you, but you can condition yourself out of it. And it's not worth the pain and the pressure if it leads you to not enjoying the game. I think that another reason why people feel like they're not enjoying the game anymore is because they feel a lack of content. And they're kind of caught in this crossfire of there's nothing to do in the game, but I have to keep playing the game so that I don't fall behind. But, you know, if you take out that don't fall behind part out of the equation, then what you're left with is there's nothing left to do in the game. And honestly, if there's nothing left for you to do in the game, if you feel that way, then it's a good time to just not play the game. Because when I came back to the game after not having played for like 6 or 7 months, I felt like there was so much to do, so much to explore, quests to finish, characters to discover, world quests and chests and primos to collect. Like, there's lots to do and I love it. And I'm not even under this pressure of, oh, it's so hard to catch up because I wasn't playing this game for a while and I have to catch up ASAP. I once had a viewer come into my stream and ask, is there any point to playing the game again if they're still stuck in Sumeru? Is it still hard to catch up? And I basically told them, well, it's hard to catch up if you're giving yourself a deadline to catch up. It's hard to catch up if you feel forced to catch up within like X number of weeks. But if you're free of that, if you don't even think about that, then that just means there's a lot for you to do in the game. And that's even not thinking about the fact that Genshin has added ways for like new players to teleport to the different regions if they want to collect materials for a new character in a region that they don't have access to yet or they haven't reached in the main story yet. But basically, like, the content that's there in the game, it's for you to enjoy at your pace. I know that the game itself, like the social media and the community that results from the entire mentality of the gacha and the FOMO, I know that it's so tempting to fall into and that it can condition you to always feel that pressure. But if you can find your peace and like find your place that you're not even going to be affected by that pressure, there's so much to enjoy. And now that I have this different mindset going into the game, I can play it at a much more relaxed pace. I do world quests now. I used to not do world quests before because I thought that it was kind of like a waste of time for what I was trying to achieve in the game, which was figure out all the meta ways or all the best ways to build and play a character. And because there's limited amount of time in the day, I spent a lot of that time like doing the end game or just playing, like fighting with characters and all that. And then world quests, well, they didn't seem all that important to me at the time. But because I've pushed that aside, I do world quests now. And I do the long world quest chains now. And you know what? It's not even a fact of like trying to do it all in one sitting because sometimes it can be tiring. Sometimes the dialogue is boring. I'll be like, I'm not afraid to say that. Sometimes the dialogue is boring. It's verbose. It's overwritten. It feels like they're trying to reach a word count. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I don't want to do the thing. If I don't feel like doing the thing anymore, then I'm just going to go do my side quest to that chest over there, and then maybe continue the world quest when you feel like it. Playing the game with this sense of freedom and this sense of just do what you want, it's open world, make all the choices that you can in order to enjoy the game. It's so different in a positive way. I felt like before, when I was like playing the game as a guide maker, it's like I never really even played the game. Aside from world quests that I thought were unnecessary or not really helpful to my main objective of doing the guides. Neither was exploration, to be honest. I never really paid attention to exploration. If you look at the areas or like my explored areas, there's so many areas there that are just 50%, like 50 to 60%, especially the most recent areas, because exploration back then, it was not imperative to making the guide. Because I'm not doing that anymore, then I'm free to explore. I'm free to enjoy the open world that Genshin offers us, basically. I know that in the time that I was gone, I missed content and I missed characters, but honestly, I don't feel all that bad about most of it. I do feel bad that that I missed the Sumeru Nahida's birthday, that event, because I really love the Sumeru cast. But I also know that a lot of it wasn't voiced, so I don't feel too much of a loss over it, if I'm going to be completely honest. And no, I don't have Chaska, I don't have Aurora or Vanessa or Ian-san or Aoife. Who else released in that time? Dahlia, I think, Skirk. I don't have them, and that's okay. It just comes down to I don't feel the FOMO anymore. Now I can just play the game for what it is, what it offers, instead of like over investing my money or my emotions or even my time into it. I can't speak for everyone, but focusing on certain parts of Genshin, especially when you have to keep up that grind, and when you have those like artificial deadlines or those self-imposed deadlines, like I have to build this character by this point, or I have to have the perfect build by this point. It kind of feels like being in school. And I know that some people love school. I loved being in school for a time. I was a nerd, but it's like having to keep up with this system that ultimately you feel forced into instead of willingly being there. It's up to you, but for me, that's not the way I would like to spend my time in a game. It's not the way I would like to enjoy a game. You might be sitting there watching this video and thinking like, oh my god, she sounds like she's coping. This sounds like Stockholm Syndrome. Whether I'm coping or not, whether this sounds like Stockholm Syndrome or not, the fact of the matter is I'm having fun. I'm having fun playing the game again, and I'm going to keep playing it until I stop having fun. And then after that, I'll move on, or I'll take a break again, and then I'll find another game to have fun with. Honestly, I was thinking to myself, when I run out of things to do in Genshin, or when I feel like it's not really giving me anything anymore, why not take a crack at Wuthering Waves? I haven't really started my account there, and I know that there's so much to do, and I hear such great things about it, so why not? Right? And I'm not just limiting myself to gacha games either. I'm ready to play single-player RPGs. I played Clair Obscur, and that was fire. And I might talk about that in another video as well. But it's just, I feel like for the first time in a long time, I'm back to playing Genshin, but it doesn't own me, and that's great. If you feel burnout from Genshin, or if you're wondering what's been up with me in that regard, there you have it. Now, if you do want to see me playing Genshin, you can find me almost every day streaming on Twitch. You can find snippets and segments of my Twitch streams over on my Clips and VODs channel. Sooner or later, I'm probably going to talk about Genshin again on this channel. I do still have some IRL videos that are lined up, so watch out for those. That's it. That's the update. I'm playing Genshin again. It's fun. I love it. Leave a comment on how you feel about Nod Cry, because I haven't heard from the people over on this main channel, or I don't know how you feel about Genshin in general, I suppose. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone.